Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
I was deep in it, gaming on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. Unfolding the screen made it twice as big and so immersive, I kinda lost myself. Might have trolled a little too close to the sun. Someone in the chat told me to touch grass, so I took my Z Fold 7 outside and kept playing. Still won, got a tan, and a nice little reset. Powerful processor, realistic graphics, you stay locked in, streak stays alive. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Atheists, agnostics, long-haired weirdos, short-haired weirdos, vandals, hooligans.
The government, hug the government, love the government, hug the government, love the government, hug the government, love the government.
Welcome to The Politics Guys, a place for bipartisan, rational, and civil debate on American politics and policy. I'm Trey Orndorff, a political scientist at Oklahoma Christian University, and I'm joined by Ken Katkin, a professor of law at Chase Law School, for this Constitution show. So Ken, welcome back to our ongoing subtopic of the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah, it's great to be back, Trey. We're really closing in.
We are closing in, and as I talked about this on our other shows, we are closing in on the 2-year anniversary of starting this. I'll remember I had just come into this space, and I thought we should go through the U.S. Constitution because we had some supporters say you guys should read through it, and I thought, well, just reading through it's not enough. We ought to actually commentate on it. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that, but this has been beautiful. It's been a lot of fun to continue to tackle this with you, but I didn't think of it as taking the amount of time that it did. But I'm so happy that we have, because now we have this huge repository, I think, of some really good constitutional history, constitutional commentary, and background on pieces that I don't think a lot of people think about. And if you're a supporter, that means you can actually go back and listen to all of this and work your way through the U.S. Constitution. And we are here today. It's weird to say we've been slowly making our way through the amendments. We, of course, started with the Bill of Rights, but we're now on the 25th Amendment. We're getting to some pretty recent constitutional amendments. The 25th Amendment was ratified in 1967, and it was about clarifying presidential succession, and especially trying to understand and think through what should happen if a president becomes incapacitated, dies, resigns, or is removed from office. And it is in large part a response to some of the ambiguity that was exposed by events, well, in 1963, by the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. And this was, and again, it's not as if Kennedy was the first person to have been attacked, but that ambiguity led to some issues, and it will come up later. So the 25th Amendment has 4 sections to it. It has one on presidential succession. It has one on the vice presidential vacancy, because the original Constitution, as we actually talked about, doesn't provide for the vice president being removed. It has a voluntary transfer of power. What if somebody's going to go under for a medical procedure? And whether you think that that's likely or not, the age of presidents in recent years has meant that it's increasingly likely. President Trump is in his 80s. The likelihood that he might need to be under anesthesia during these 4 years is non-zero. It's pretty high, probably, when it's all said and done. And then finally, the 4th is the involuntary removal of the president. And this is what I think is oftentimes thought of, Ken, when you first think of the 25th Amendment, is everybody kind of focuses on the 4th section. But in actuality, the 4th section has never been used. The first section's been used once when Richard Nixon resigns and Vice President Gerald Ford becomes president in 1974. The second section has been used twice, once in 1973 after Spiro Agnew, who was the vice president for Nixon, resigns, and then Nixon appoints Gerald Ford as his vice president. And then again in 1974 when Ford becomes president and he appoints Nelson Rockefeller as his vice president.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Running a business means I wear lots of hats. Luckily, when it's time to put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn to make it easy. I can post a job for free or pay to promote it and get 3 times more qualified candidates. Imagine finding your next great hire in 24 hours. 86% of small businesses do. With LinkedIn, I can also easily share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. Post your free job at linkedin.com/achieve. That's linkedin.com/achieve. Terms and conditions apply.
The Section 3 has been used several times in '85 with Ronald Reagan when he transferred power to George H.W. Bush during a colon surgery. In 2002 and again in 2007, President George W. Bush did this during colonoscopies for then Vice President Dick Cheney. And then most recently, of course, in 2021, when Biden transferred power to Vice President Kamala Harris during his colonoscopy. But now, the removing a president has never occurred, but it does, I think, get the most attention, probably most recently, Ken, because in the wake of the attacks on the Capitol, there was some murmuring that might or ought to occur with President Trump as he was exiting. But really, that doesn't go very far since he is in fact exiting, and it doesn't gain much traction. But it does, I think, got into the popular mind. And that's a pretty difficult way to go. The vice president and a majority of the cabinet or other body designated by Congress has to declare the president unfit. And then if the president disputes, so presumably a president might be so unfit that he can't dispute. And there have been some cases where that might have been the possibility. Truman later in his presidency, as a matter of fact, probably was not there in many ways, and his wife and his doctor are handling things. But be that as it may, if a president disputes it, then Congress gets to decide through a 2/3 vote in both House. So similar to an impeachment process without the stigma, the same kind of stigma that would be attached to a removal. But again, as we have noted, this has never occurred. So Ken, from the legal perspective, then what all, if any, are the kind of legal aspects to the 25th Amendment? Unfortunately, I have to interrupt myself. Indeed, I do, because this is the end of the ad-supported preview of the bonus show exclusively for supporters. So if you want to become a supporter of the show and get the rest of Ken and mine taking a look at the 25th and the 26th Amendment, all you have to do is head to the show notes and become a supporter. And it doesn't just get you today's episode, it's going to get you all 2 years of our in-depth look at the United States Constitution. But the other hosts do things as well. It's going to unlock so many things for you to become a supporter of the show. So again, head to the show notes, become a supporter of the show, or head to politicsguys.com/support and take a look at all the different options there. You're going to get more than just these shows as well. You're going to get access to us around the clock on our Discord server. You're going to have a chance to talk with other like-minded individuals about politics, policy, and more. So again, head to politicsguys.com/support or head down in the show notes and become a supporter now. Now, if you're not in a financial position to do that, you can always reach out to us at mail@politicsguys.com and talk to us a little bit about that so that we can get you set up. We also love to take your questions there on social media. But again, mail@politicsguys.com is always going to be the fastest way to get a hold of us. Now, you can always subscribe, write, and review on this, even if you aren't a supporter. That makes those algorithms like us a lot more. But I'm going to end us right here unless you become a supporter, again, by heading to politicsguys.com/support, and just say thank you so much to our amazing executive producers. And they are Wilma Marino, Daniel Toe, Ryan Beasley, Don Oglesby, Derek Schmidt, Dakota Heath, Jason Chrysler, Dave Dean, Jeremy Larson, Brian Matza, and Jody Miller. We'll be back with a full episode this weekend, and I hope you'll join us then.